This next question is very long. And there's a lot of useless details, and they used many questions on my form spring. And so many details that I can't remember to tell you them all. I wonder how I can change my form string to really let you only ask one question a day per person, because this is really long. But long story short, from what I understand, I just went and read it. There's a drag queen who's just starting out, and she's friends with a drag queen who's a show hostess. And she's friends with another drag queen that's also starting out. And apparently they've been entering amateur contests and things, and the other drag queen that is a show hostess always tells her that she's amazing and she likes her and she's original and fresh, but her friend, who also is just starting out, went and did this certain contest and got hired by the show hostess, and she wants to know how to how to not be consumed by jealousy and how to handle the situation. I see it all the time. Drag queens a lot of times start out together. It's easier, like, hey, I don't want to go by myself, will you go with me? And a lot of times you see what we call burger queens, but really it's just people that don't know. And the funny part, and I've said this in many other videos, the funny part is when you see an amateur crossdresser who thinks that she is God's gift and she's so amazing and so fierce, and then you see her friend who knows she's not the best and she's eager to learn. The girl that's eager to learn will usually get taught much faster. And I'm not saying you're not eager to learn, but a lot of girls, when they first start, think that they're so good and so amazing. And obviously I don't know you and I don't know this other girl, and you used a lot of initials in your letter, but 50% of the battle is attitude and determination and dedication. And, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is you could teach hair and you could teach makeup, but you can't teach stage presence. You either have it or you don't. And if you're dedicated and if you're very persistent and if you're determined, then you need to keep practicing and prove to them that you have it and that they need you. Don't let them get you down. And enter every, you're talking about a lot of contests, so enter every contest that you can, all the shows that you can, benefits or whatever, and constantly go out there and practicing and getting better and constantly improving your look and changing your look and doing things that are completely different. You mentioned, I think, that you do a lot of character illusions, which is good if your illusions are dead on. Now, I've seen a lot of people that say they're Mary J. Blige, and it's just a black girl with a blonde wig on, and I don't see Mary J. Blige. I'm like, okay, I guess it's Mary J. Blige. I don't get it. No one in the room's going to look at her and say, oh, it's Mary J., only when she does a Mary J. song. If you're going to do a character, you need to do something that has defined things, like Lucille Ball. You know, a blue and white checker or a blue and white polka dot dress with an apron and a red wig. You know, pick characters that are extreme and that are obvious. Be like, oh, she's in an illusion right now. You know, you don't want to pick like a Kesha and be like, oh, I'm doing Kesha or Britney. And that, well, Britney's kind of a different story because she has extreme things. But if you're going to do an illusion, do somebody extreme like Cher and Madonna and perfect that. But also, don't be afraid to think outside the box. Be completely creative and be completely unique and be strange and do things that the audience will find entertaining. If you can suck the audience in and if you can get the audience on your side, you'll be surprised at how far it will take you. And You know, I did this in another vlog already when somebody had mentioned they performed and everyone just stood there and laughed at them. Not laughed at them, but just stared at them. And I mentioned that they should go up to the people after the show and say, hey, what did I do wrong? Now, that is often something very difficult to hear. And if you are really determined and really want this, and the show hostess that you're talking about has constantly said, oh yeah, you're good, girl, you're fresh, you're amazing. A lot of times, people don't like confrontation. And if somebody walks up to me, for example, and says, hey, blah blah blah, I don't usually tell them how I think they can improve. I'll just be like, oh, I loved that song, or I loved your outfit, or your shoes were cute. And when in reality, I'm like, you didn't know any of the words to your song. You picked a song that wasn't appropriate for the room, or the bar, or the venue. You know, or your clothes don't fit you, or your boobs look square, or you really need hip pads, or whatever. Like, you need to go up to them and be like, look, tell me what can I do better. And if she says, oh, you were fine, girl, I'll be like, okay, well, how was my look? How was my outfit? How was my costume? How can I make these things better? How was my lip sync? Can my lip sync be better? You know, I don't know. Your question's really long, and it's full of a lot of details that it's blogging. It's blurring my mind, so I don't really know how to answer it. But long story short, if it's something you believe in and you really want, and your heart tells you to entertain these people, and I don't think you should give up. I think you should keep going. Anyways, that was Ask Misty. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.